We don't really have like a welcome to.
No, we kind of just started.
Oh yeah, the podcast is called Rug Orange.
Rug
Which
Orange.
doesn't make sense to anyone,
doesn't-
probably.
It's kind of like.
I like it. I think it's different.
I had a podcast called Red Orange.
Yeah.
And then Callum had a podcast called The Rug. So we just combined the two
Nice.
together.
Yeah.
And it's not really how much of a.
No.
Yeah, but I think that's the great thing. Do you know what? When I watch The Apprentice, I always get fucking annoyed when they turn around and go, "What's this got to do with this type of the business that you're getting into?" I'm like, does that fucking matter?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you need to name a car company behind one of the mechanics in the car. No, you fucking don't, right? Every car company in the world is named after the fucker who invented the car. Who thought the idea?
Like Kodak is just not a made-up word. But it doesn't mean
Exactly.
anything.
So, like, what do you mean? Oh, so it's got to have a meaning.
Sometimes
to
it's
it.
just a cool thing, like I don't know, like calling it Uber or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
The
completely.
thing is,
Or should we have called it like David Johnson? Uber. Oh, dude, don't worry. I'll get a David Johnson.
the Callum and Eddie podcast.
Oh my god.
No, but it does have meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Rug Orange. It's
Yeah, it's both of our old podcasts.
It's
You know,
combining.
it's something new.
It's
but
like the Wall of Roses. It's like the Tudor houses. You know that you've combined together.
it's like having a kid.
Yeah. We've
yeah,
birthed a child.
Yeah. And
Well, so this is just part of it now, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
the child has your nose, my eyes,
Yeah.
and both our senses of humour.
Wow. That's not going to be
And
very
you
funny.
called it
then.
Rug Orange.
And we called it Rug Orange.
And we called it Rug Orange.
And we're just waiting until he starts getting bullied at school.
Yeah.
For his stupid name.
All right.
Oh, God.
For speaking into the mic, just like that far.
That far?
Yeah.
Sure. No, fair enough.
Just as long as you're not too close.
Are you host or am I host? Are we...
We're both hosts.
Yeah, but like who's the one to say like the very start thing?
3.
No.
2.
No. Can we have some chili mayo, please? Sriracha.
That doesn't
mayo.
make any sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Inside joke.
It's a joke. We've got to get rid of now.
Well,
Just have to think.
welcome to Rug Orange, episode 1.
Welcome to Rug Orange episode 1.
Woo! Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on a very special episode where we're going to talk to Brad about what it was like working on
Mr. Frank
both
Redbridge.
the Waffler and the Waffler 2.
Oh, thank you, guys.
If you guys didn't know, me and Brad worked on a film called The Waffler 2.
Indeed, you did.
Yes, and
I know.
It was a very fun experience. We had some hiccups on the way. I feel like I'm standing in front of a stage again, talking about the film.
Yeah.
And this is usually when I pass it on to you, Brad, about the film because you're much better at this than I am.
Is that you passing it?
Yeah, that's me passing it
Okay,
on.
alright. No, yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, like you said, a few hiccups, but overall, I think the week went quite well. To be fair, yeah, no, I think obviously we know what happened on the Monday.
Yeah.
That was probably the most.
Oh,
That Monday is
what happened on the Monday?
Was that June 24th or something like that?
Oh,
Maybe a little bit earlier.
I think it was 23rd.
Because I'm going to remember that date for going into the future.
It was the 23rd to the 26th we filmed.
So, do we go into the hiccup or do we...
Straight
Just
away.
tell me what happened. I want to know. What happened on this
So,
Monday?
We were filming in Bexley Heath to do the shootout with...
This is the first shootout.
Yeah, with Frank shooting Adam and Luca as the goons.
Yeah.
Graham
Well,
Goon and Gareth
Yeah,
Goon.
that's it. Yeah.
The goons.
And
GG's.
Yep. The double G's.
when we were working on the set, our director, Zeus,
Zeus, we'll call him for now.
he was meant to be the director, but unfortunately there was a bit of a disagreement about the role of the director, and I might have overstepped my assistant director role a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Zeus decided that today was not the day, and went home, grabbed the bag, and went home. So that kind of threw us for a loop. We all got a bit dizzy, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Our lovely producer,
You
Shannon,
don't belong here.
she ran after Zeus, trying to trying to catch the lightning god.
Oh, is this
That might be
real?
a bit too much on the nose.
Is this real? Did she actually run after him?
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
She
And
ran after
just
him.
ask, what's happening? What's going on?
What did he say?
You're meant to be the director, and
He
why you just
didn't really say anything, did
Didn't really
he?
say anything.
Oh.
Yeah, went a bit mute.
Yeah.
He was talking even less than he was before.
Maybe he just got a bit nervous.
Yeah, happens sometimes. Maybe
Yeah.
the scope of the project was too much. Really, all we can do is just have some educated guesses as what happened, because none of us really.
Maybe
know
one
to
day
this
we'll
day.
get him on
Yeah,
and talk to him. We'll do a bit of a therapy session.
the Rug Orange therapy special.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Well,
we
if he's
lie
a-
him down in a chair.
Yeah.
If he's already quite mute at the moment,
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
he
think
comes to
going
life on a podcast.
Yeah.
podcast. Maybe.
Maybe. You never know.
Maybe you
have
just
to
get him
do
to
that.
type up.
I'm quite mute.
Better help. Better help. And Shannon basically said to
Gethelp.co.uk.
Zeus, what's going on, and Zeus just said, I think Eddie's got it, and then said, oh, that's my bus,
Oh.
and then ran off. And
Oh,
honestly,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was the last we thought we were going to see of him, but luckily,
Well,
you ran into him later.
I did.
When we were returning the kit.
did.
Oh.
It's very underwhelming.
Yes.
Because I got there a bit earlier. I got there with Vinny, and we walked into the uni, and there he was walking out. It was weird. So I messaged him the night before, being like, "Hey, look, mate," because this is another big thing which Zeus did to I guess. Are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck us over.
Yeah.
Fuck it, bro.
I was going to try and go for a PC word, but no, yeah. To fuck us over with. He had the batteries that we were given to by a kit store in his bag, and he didn't take the batteries out of his bag before he decided to...
Because that would mess
run
up.
off.
That would mess up.
So was he there
bit where
returning
he
the
storms
batteries?
off.
He was there returning the batteries. I messaged him the night before being like, hey, look, mate, you need to return the batteries. I'm guessing he kind of knew that he was going to do that anyway, because obviously he went and did it.
Yeah.
But
He had a few days to think about it.
He had
at
a few
least.
days to think about it. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was just I got to the uni, I walked in, and I said hello to him, and all he did was nodded, all right, and then walked off. Kept his earphones in, or AirPods in, didn't really say anything else. But just I found it really annoying. So on the Monday, I gave him quite this, I won't say heartfelt, but it was, it was definitely a very sympathetic message. Being like, oh, we still want you on the project. We still want you working on this. You worked on the first one with us. Don't run away now.
Don't break the team up.
Exactly. Don't break the team up. But just nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Again on the Friday.
It's a shame.
Nothing. Or the Thursday, sorry, when I messaged him about the batteries, nothing. I've not spoken to him since.
You know what? It's probably nothing personal to you.
Yeah.
no,
I don't know.
definitely.
It's probably just something going on with him. And he doesn't feel like talking about it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still does suck.
Yeah.
That, you had to be left in that position.
I think the worst bit about it is that we never really got a response from us. It was kind of through someone else.
Yeah. No,
Which was,
definitely.
a little bit.
Yeah.
We found that a little bit disrespectful, but
Yeah, but it's like, oh, you can message them, but you can't message us.
yeah. You need a messenger. It's kind of.
Nah, definitely.
I wasn't sure about that, but anyway, that was the whole saga of that going on. Not a crazy.
the Zeus saga.
Zeus saga.
Sounds
It
quite.
sounds
Quite. Yeah.
But the only Zeus thing is that the fact that he stormed off.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, that's a dad joke.
That is a dad joke. That is big time.
Wow.
Having my inner dad. Speaking of which,
Is
I
that
can't
fine?
think of anything to do with a dad. No.
Do you think it's still recording? I don't know why that turned off.
We had many different locations when we shot the Waffler 2. It was almost like we were doing a tour of South England.
Southeast England. Yeah, we did.
So our first day we were shooting in Bexley Heath, and that was the when we were.
There was a shootout.
The shootout, yeah.
We picked the kit up that day as well, didn't we?
And then the next day, I think going into it, we assumed that would be the most fun day of shooting, just because we didn't have much of a plan of what was going on. I think going into it thinking it was going to be a fun day was kind of setting ourselves up for a disaster, because I think in the end that was actually the least fun day of shooting.
Probably,
that we
but then
had.
I still think it was fun. I tell you what that day was though. It was very much you could tell it was the first day, and we wouldn't say new to all the kit and stuff,
Yeah.
but we was definitely like
We were
you know,
out of
adjusting to
practice
it.
for a little bit.
Getting used to it
Definitely.
again.
Yeah. Like
I mean, before, like the last film you would have worked on was your the cinematography
Yeah.
thing about the
Yeah.
Dobby
And-
Lego building, and that was like a few
definitely.
months before. So, and my one would have been like
even
touching the
then,
grass
to
and
say
everything.
like with the amount of equipment that we had, like for the Lego Dobby film that I did, that we did, sorry, we didn't book out any kit from Kit Store. We literally just used Zeus's camera, and
recurring
Zeus's-
character.
Yeah, it was Zeus's camera, and it was literally just Ollie's light. He's his night like little lamp that he has.
I do enjoy not having to take stuff out constantly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hence,
All the equipment.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good not having to fill in like a whole
imagine
risk assessment.
imagine to just do a podcast. We will have to go to uni, pick up all this stuff, and
yeah,
like,
and then come back
And
all
you'd
the way
have to
back.
do that every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they're like, "What exactly are you doing in this podcast?" It's like, we're just talking about a film.
We're just
like,
talk- none
are
of
you
it's come
using
out yet.
pyrotechnics.
none of it's come out yet, but I swear we're doing
Yeah.
it.
And the first day was going to be the what we assume would be the fun day, but I think in the end the most fun day was the longest day of shooting, and that was
Definitely.
when we were shooting in
Yeah,
Essex.
yeah.
Well, the lot is probably the most rewarding.
Yes.
Really.
It was definitely
I think
the most
because
rewarding.
I spoke a bit about this, Callum, before, but like this goes a little bit off topic. But when you ask someone who's lived most of their life what their favorite age they ever lived, they mostly like around the median they say is around 36. But if you talk to 36-year-olds now, their lives are very like stressful and stuff.
Yeah.
But stressful isn't a memorable emotion. It goes away and you don't think back on it.
Yeah.
What you think back on is the responsibility you had and like the fun that you had. And I think that's what our day in Essex was, because we did get stressed a little bit over
Definitely.
certain things. But
Yeah.
now we look back on it and we're kind of like, it was a long 11-hour day of shooting of just constant, like, I think that's the hardest that I'd think
Yeah.
any of us have ever
You've worked
on a
hard
project.
for like the result you needed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
that is just so rewarding.
Yeah.
But it was like as well. We've got to get through that day. We get through that day, and then it's just chill.
Yeah.
And I think you could definitely like see. I definitely think we all felt that and
Yeah.
saw that on the Wednesday and the
Yeah.
Thursday, especially the Thursday.
Yeah.
Like the Wednesday, I still think because it was the Shakespeare bit, there was still a little bit a little bit of caginess, just because we wanted to make sure that everything was perfect.
Yeah.
In those bits. But after that, going around the park, that was pretty simple. And then filming in Chislehurst and Orpington the next day.
We were all used to at that point, because
exactly.
Shannon and Adam had filmed in Touching on Grass, and you filmed for the first Waffler as well.
Exactly,
So
yeah,
we kind of, it was a little bit more like
Yeah,
familiar
it
territory.
was kind of doing something you've already done, but
Yeah, yeah,
better.
definitely.
But so you knew it was going to be chill.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I think that the Essex shoot, you being able to get that pub, I think was one of the best like sort of wins in terms of location. I think all of the locations in Essex were like perfect for the film as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Because
No,
obviously you had Ollie there to do some of the location scouting as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And that whole kind of, it almost looked like a bunker in the woods that really worked to do the fight scene and everything. But that pub
definitely.
as well,
It does have some great locations.
you score with that one, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, me and Ollie, we did. It was a Friday. We went out and we went to loads of different like parks and woodland areas. That one was in Danbury, the one where we like filmed in the end. That was the first place we went to. So it was we kind of already decided that was kind of the place, but we just thought, fuck it, like, let's go around and see what like Gallywood and what Billericay's got. But it wasn't the same. Like Danbury's quite open. And like, even though it's a woodland area, you can still kind of walk around it, and there's still kind of like space. Whilst when it comes to like Gallywood and Billericay, it was so clustered. Like you just couldn't move. Like the trees were too like close to each other. So, but like I said, like we kind of made the decision that we were gonna kind of go to Danbury, like when we were there.
Yeah, but it can't hurt to like look at more locations.
And I think
Yeah.
when you and Ollie were out there filming, I think Ollie didn't tell you about this, but he did see a climbable tree that he knew he was going to climb up and then start filming from above to create a great shot of you and you and Vinny having the final showdown.
Yeah.
True
Kitstore,
cinematographer.
if you're watching this, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
And if
Ollie
it did happen, we would have taken the proper precautions.
we would have taken the proper precautions, and we would have, done all the health and safety.
Trampolines
for
at the
it.
bottom, so if the camera dropped down, it would have just
they
bounced
just
up and
bounced
down.
up,
and,
Actually, do you know what? You know those big gym pads that you have when you
Those were everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally, you couldn't go anywhere without stepping on a gym pad.
And,
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
think about us removing them all for the shot.
Yeah.
So you didn't even see them in the end.
All CG.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Brad wasn't even there for the shoot.
Yeah. No,
You were actually added in post.
I was. I was just an AI. I was AI generated.
You were scanned in and then regenerated.
It's crazy what you can do nowadays.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
In fact, this whole podcast is AI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you can believe it.
None of us are real.
We're not real, no.
Going into Wednesday, we have our first and our only paid location that we actually had to pay money
We
to
did.
go to, but I think it paid off in the end. Filming in the church in Sydenham, because I think that was a wonderful.
How much did they
location.
charge you?
It was £50 to film in there for how long?
that's
were we
okay.
in there? Like 3
We weren't
hours,
in there
mate.
for that long.
Yeah,
3 hours.
maybe.
But we have
Pretty
to
good.
definitely respect Shannon there. She was
Yeah.
able to get it down. First, they said £300.
Oh my
300
god.
quid, and we were like, "Are you taking the
100 quid an hour.
Yeah, I know. I was saying I was going to say, "Oh, you taking the piss," but obviously I was not part of the negotiation. But Shannon was obviously able to get it down to 50 quid. But then I think like I said, we was only in there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Take £300 to put the church out for what 3 hours and pay that much money. We was out by like 1 or 2, weren't we?
Yeah.
We was out.
And it's weird because we only had one interruption at the church from the public.
Oh.
And in the pub we had two people who wanted a drink. So it proves that people
did.
are more likely to want a drink than to go and worship Jesus.
Yeah. No, definitely.
These people, what are they thinking?
And luckily a church just had a random sofa that we could just like pick up and move around.
That really made the shot, I think.
I think
Look, actually, great timing. Hey.
Oh damn! Yeah. I mean,
That was a
Eddie
very
had to-
heavy sofa.
Yeah, we moved that twice.
Yeah.
Didn't we? Yeah, we had to move it onto the stage.
which was great
Yeah,
because I'd
yeah,
always
back.
imagined that we'd have you just lying down there.
On the
Not even
stage.
standing up. I think
Just lying on the floor.
when I'm thinking about it, most of the film, like you're kind of just sitting down. You're sitting down when you're talking to me, and you're sitting down here. And
Yeah. That's what I had to do, just sit and talk, wasn't it, really? Yeah. Until I had to have the massive fight scene with Humphrey.
that was a break from that.
I love the lighting in that scene. The deliberate.
We didn't end up using, and looking back on it, the lighting was kind of like, I didn't anticipate how heavy those lights actually would be.
Yeah.
Like bringing them around everywhere.
Really?
Because it's like,
I kind of knew. I knew that they were going to be heavy. Like I definitely maybe I
always
should have
are.
spoke up. Maybe I should have spoke up a little bit more about it. When it was like, oh yeah, we're going to book the Ari lights. So I was like, It's like, should we book like maybe the Dido ones?
They are nice lights though.
I think
nice
going
lights.
into
They work
They're really nice lights.
going into new projects, I think we should really think about if lighting is required for stuff.
necessary.
Because
Definitely,
I wasn't sure if because there aren't really that many like interior scenes. There's like the pub, my house that we had is Frank's house, and then we had the church as well. But we only really used lights for the church scene, and I think we were more likely to do lights there because we didn't really have to worry about the continuity and you being able to see the lights. Because it makes sense that you'd be able to see the lights.
Part of the scene.
So I think I should have just kept the lights with me the whole time, and then we could have just used that.
Just use them in that scene, really.
Because we ended up lugging them around for. Those lights took a trip to Essex. I bet they enjoyed it.
yeah.
Good trip to Essex.
Took a trip to Essex and wasn't used at all.
Oh yeah, not once.
We
Not
were
once
planning
we
to,
used it.
but like it's such a hassle.
It was such a hassle. But like
Yeah.
I think as well, especially because the Essex day was such a long day of filming, like, if we did have to set up the lights.
Everyone was a bit tired. Couldn't be bothered to put them up and down.
Well, it was like, to be fair, we did the pub scene first. We did that quite early in the morning. But like, if you've got lights, you've got to move them all the time. You've got to keep moving and adjusting them to whoever you're shooting. And it's just like, that's just going to add an extra, hour, 2 hours
Yeah.
in your like you know, you guys probably
Set
wouldn't
up the shot, set up the lights.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
only that,
Get down the lights, then
you got to
shut
make
the new
sure
shot, put the
continuity
lights up
doesn't
again.
break.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
And the light looks natural for each shot.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
And,
Because
yeah.
when we filmed my one of my PLP films, we obviously I did the Blackjack film, and that like a lot of lighting went into that, and there were times where we were spending like, you know, a good 20 minutes, half hour just adjusting the lights because we had to make sure that it was perfect and like you said,
It looks really good in the
continuity-wise.
end.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, well, like I said, we worked. That was probably, you know, the hardest we on the film. Like that's probably the most we had to do. And then obviously when it came to actually shooting it, it wasn't really that desperately hard because we was only just sitting down. It's just a round table, so we was just able to kind of like, you know, we'll make sure we get shots of Harriet and what was the guy's? What did I name him? Robbie. Harriet and Robbie. Make sure we have like 2 shots, and make sure we have a shot of them too, and then make sure that we have the reverse shot of Lando, and then that can basically be it really. Make sure we got a few reaction shots. No,
It's just that extra
easy.
bit of like effort to do the lights as well, which
Yeah.
sometimes it's worth it, but I think for the pub scene especially, I don't think we needed
we
like
didn't.
lights and stuff.
But I liked that there was no like real proper lighting in the pub scene.
Well, it's just natural.
Yeah.
It was natural, but like it was real life as well. Finally,
Yeah.
Well, like
That's how a pub looks.
exactly. Yeah.
Like-
But like I felt like the bits where like it was real life, they looked like you said. So the prison scenes, the pub. When he goes back after the breakup with Amanda, like it's very grey, it's very dark, but like
Gritty.
Gritty, exactly. So again, but we kind of said before filming, we was like, if we make the real life scene so monotone, so then like it matches Frank's like boring life because he does. He's boring, isn't he? He is boring. That's why he comes up with like, you know, thinking he needs to be a singer or something because he needs to do something in his life.
Needs a hobby.
Exactly. But then you contrast that now with like the real brightness of like, you know, the shootout scenes and stuff. I just, you know, I thought it worked really well in the end.
It makes sense for the lighting to match the vibe, and I think that's something
exactly.
that we've, because when you look at the Waffler, it's not a film that is stylistically something that looks very unique, which is something that I think is something. I guess if when we do the Waffler 2, we're going to make it more stylized and give it more of its own kind of look and everything. But these are all things that I think every filmmaker kind of just goes through, like learning from how to make things better and stuff. And when you start to like analyze a film not based off the fact if there's an out of focus shot or a continuity error, and actually something that will make the film like more show emotion in ways that isn't dialogue or music and stuff, and more visual. I think that's some of the best ways to sort of start to improve and recognize that you're starting to make films that are more I want to say artful, but that's a little bit
Stylized.
Stylized, yeah,
that's the word.
Definitely stylized.
Tate Modern.
Yeah.
I love that he said that line though, like that. I thought it made it like, because it sounded like Tate Modern. It wasn't like actually saying it's the Tate Modern, but Tate Modern being like, oh, that is like a dismembered, but like disbanded band. Like it was something or like something that he tried out. And it like completely failed. I don't know if like Pico was involved with it or not. Like
And it also sounds like he's so done with all of your antics, he doesn't even care to pronounce it correctly.
He's just messing with you at that point.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And then going into the Thursday shoot, I think we at that point we were kind of like, it's today and then it's over.
Exactly.
So we just kind of like bang it out. All of the shots are like, and that location that we got of the prison set. When I was at sixth form, I had a friend called Josh who would constantly make his A-level music videos because he had to do like 3 in the end because they kept saying, "You've got to do it again, mate." Like,
Oh my
this isn't good
God.
enough. So
He was that shit at making music videos.
Why did he keep making music videos at that point?
And the same location as well.
So it was kind of like it looked like a kind of it's like I don't think you can even call it a recreation ground. It's kind of like one of those, it was like built in the 70s, kind of like just tarmac kind of football areas.
Yeah, it was just like, it was just like one of those, what's it, like cages. I've got one in my town.
Sounds like you're describing a parking lot.
Yeah.
Basically.
And when we were thinking of like locations, I was like, is there anything I know that looks like a prison? I mean, a lot of schools look like prisons, but we can't really exactly like go in there and be like, guys, we've got this film. Maybe some people would have allowed it, but like, I think it would have been better just to film on location.
Yeah,
That's what we ended up doing in the end.
Yeah.
I think it looks quite good for what we've got. And for some reason, someone just decided to start burning all everything in their garden.
What?
So for a few shots, you can see like smoke.
Wow,
behind
very
it and
very
stuff.
dramatic.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
dramatic.
definitely.
It was
Yeah.
like, we didn't even need to book out the haze machine in the end. Just go to Orpington.
Yeah.
And then you were very helpful and drove us back to Chislehurst, where we could finally get the shots of you being very sad and depressed.
Definitely.
And we coined a new term, which is Chekhov's Sherbet. Actually, before that, when you were throwing Lilo and Stitch out the window, I think that was the shot that took the most takes out of the whole thing.
It
Because
did.
we did it about 15 times, because sometimes we would end up on the roof.
That was very fun. That was very fun because Eddie was insistent on having to throw the film back up the window instead of someone running up and getting it. And the amount of times he missed.
Because it wasn't you don't throw it hard, you throw it lightly. And then up.
Yeah.
Like kind of spin it up like that. So if anyone there wants, is throwing DVDs up into a window, that's the technique that you have to go.
It was
Good
quite
at the
funny when
wrist.
Rosa had to start doing it
Yeah.
because she had better aim than
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I still need the
Of
step
course.
ladder to go up there. Yeah. That was that shot, and then we were like, "There's only one more shot that we need, and it's you getting sherbet, a specific."
It was the dib dab with the lolly.
Yeah.
It was a dib dab with the lolly because they're the ones that we bought in Essex. So that's the shot we had. Obviously with the back in my back pocket when that's the sherbet that gets thrown into Vinny's face. But yeah, no, we went around how many shops was it?
Like 4 shops in
4
the
or
end.
5
We ended up going
different
to a
shops.
Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Then we went to a cost cutter first, and then we went to Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And then we went to a Co-op, and then
Oh
we're
my
like,
god.
There was just no sherbet. There was sherbet, but it wasn't
Yeah.
this sherbet.
Bring back Sherbet.
and then we started, and then there was a lot of conversation like, Brad, do you think you could get your mum to film it when you get back to Essex?
Oh my god.
And
I
I
was like,
said,
I'm
I
not
said
sure.
respectfully, Eddie, I went, this film looks great at the moment
Yeah.
because Shannon's been shooting it. You now want to trust my mum or my dad to film one of okay, it's not a key scene, but like it's
It's still an important moment.
Still an important
Yeah.
moment, exactly.
I guess, and then eventually we looked up and we were like, oh, there's shops around there. Is there any news agents or like corner shops around? And then we're like, oh my god, there's one on the other side of the road. So we rush over there.
Oh my
and
God.
We're like,
And we did
we
it.
rush to the sweet section. We find the exact. I think it
Oh
was
my
hidden actually
goodness.
behind another suite.
It was. Yeah.
And then when we found it, we
right,
felt like we felt the art of the Covenant. We felt so good. And then
the shopkeeper was very nice.
yeah,
let us
very
film in
very
there as
nice.
well.
Oh, nice.
She didn't.
To be fair, it was better that we went into like an offie or like an off license or a corner shop.
Yeah.
Because they would have been all right with us filming in there. If we went to Sainsbury's being like, oh, can we film in here?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you need to go through this person
Yeah.
and this person.
So if you send us an email, we'll get back to you in one working week.
Yeah, and we're like, we don't have that time.
Yeah.
Like we just need it filmed now.
Yeah. And in cases like that, sometimes it's better not to ask for permission and just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah. Well, I think
Film in the corner, maybe. Yeah.
if we did Sainsbury's, then we probably would have just gone for it, and then then they would never known the wiser. They'd be none the wiser.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think for the news agents, it was a bit like,
Yeah.
we'll ask.
Sometimes they're kind of like, you want to film in
Yeah.
our
Ours?
license?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, yes.
Did they
Let's
ask
do
what
it.
you were filming for?
No,
No.
Oh wow. That's surprising. Normally they're like, what are you filming for? And you go, YouTube? They're like, oh.
When we say it's a student film,
Okay, yeah, that's better.
it's
That's
a
what you
little-
need to say.
A little bit of a misnomer because we're not actually getting graded for this. We're getting, student
Well, it is a
equipment.
student film.
Do you think any of the lecturers would actually watch it? If we sent it
I
to
could
them,
send them an email and say,
being
check it out, you know.
Do you want to watch this?
Dude, Richard would love it.
I think
Both
Richard
of them.
would.
Yeah.
Both of them.
We could
Yeah,
split it
yeah,
into
that's
4
true.
5-minute segments and then use those as all like graded pieces.
Oh my god!
I knew this film would come in handy eventually.
Like,
I'd have to go on the letterbox and change that I was director though. It's just so like,
Yeah.
get the credit.
Yeah.
You would have to keep changing it to be like, oh yeah, like there's different. No, we had different roles each time. We
I
wasn't
like
doing
to
the same
imply
thing.
that the lecturers are going to check the letterbox. This
Oh
is
yes,
official.
the student film you did for your project. Obviously, it's on Letterboxd.
Giorgio will probably, have a letterbox and would, want to.
Should we see how many like lecturers we can get to rate it 5 stars on Letterboxd?
Yeah.
I feel like they'd all rate it. I don't know. Just by the way their reaction was when they were watching Touching the Grass.
I think the thing about touching a grass is
they
that
just don't
in order to
understand.
They
enjoy
don't
that,
understand
you
it,
really
yeah.
need to be in the kind of the internet, kind of like our
Definitely,
generation
yeah.
kind of thing.
You need to be degenerate.
Yeah.
You
But
need to
even I'd
be
say,
like
Touching the Grass for me, like, it wasn't. I never played League of Legends. Like, I didn't know.
We never played.
No,
we didn't
but-
actually know what the game was about.
Oh,
like,
did you
we
not?
was-
Oh,
yeah.
okay, no, fair enough. But it was just
But
like,
everyone knows it's like, oh, he play League.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
so
actually, we might be going off topic, but Callum's actually made a film
I made a
Touching the
3-part
Grass.
YouTube short series
Oh,
about
damn.
this one guy who plays League of Legends, and he stole it from me.
I had no idea. I had no clue.
he didn't
I'm
know, to
honest,
be
man.
fair.
I
Oh,
never
did
knew
you
you
stole
made
it.
it. Makes for a better story.
You thief.
yeah.
My one was
Absolute
better.
thief.
Let's be fair. Let's be
Don't get me
honest.
started. I stole the waffler from this other kid I knew. He's fuming right now.
Was his name
Stole it from
also
Zeus.
Frank?
Yeah. And that was the Thursday shoot, and it ended up being Chekhov Sherbet in the end.
It was, yeah.
because we
Chekhov
needed that.
Sherbet.
We were like, if you've got a gun, if you've got a gun that you have in the third act, you need to show it in the first. And if you've got sherbet that you throw in Humphrey's eyes, you need to show it before. And,
Yeah.
and in the end,
We got the shot.
yeah, and we got the shot.
That was the final shot.
and that was the
of
final shot of
shoot.
the film. Yeah,
Future generations are going to be using that term.
Chekhov Sherbet.
I can already imagine.
You know, they're gonna make a biopic about me and my life. Do you know how crazy that is? You know how mad that is?
A biopic about you?
Yeah, biopic about me.
How riveting.
Oh, you don't know how many stories I've got.
I need you to do a job for me, Frank. I'll know if you get it done. I know all things.
There's not many a time, that person can give you that look. You know what I mean?
They took my daughter, Frank!
Man, one song goes back and you're acting like the next Liam Gallagher.
I can abide it no longer. Thou hast dragged me ever downward towards thy station.
You can run, but you can't hide, Frank! Did you forget? I've got 2 goons right behind you! Kill me, Frank! You don't have the balls!
Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that trailer for the Waffler 2.
Is that what we were playing in between
yeah.
the break?
Yeah, why not?
So if you like that, obviously check it out on Mr.
It
Drinkwater's.
will be linked in the description.
Yeah,
That is a question I have got for you. Michael Hellwater.
Where did Hellwater
where's
come
that come from?
I have no idea. I think I was thinking of the movie Hell or High Water. I got hell and water, like they kind of mix things up. But
Oh, do I need to bleep Drinkwater? I just realised.
no,
That's
it's
fine.
fine. It's fine. I'm on IMDb
Are you just
now.
thirsty or something?
Yeah.
I just find it confusing though. I'm like, is it like a stage name that you're going with? But then like you didn't actually put your name as
I was
Michael
like, I
Hellwater
was either
down.
gonna
Are you Ringo
reuse.
Starr?
I was either gonna reuse Eddie Spaghetti 45, Eddie 789, or
Having
the
to
main
be fair,
broski.
having numbers in any professional name is the
You can't
cringiest
have that.
thing.
Yeah, you
I've-
can't
Unless
have
you're a
that.
Twitch streamer.
Yeah, yeah.
No, not even. Like, it only works with Germa.
German 95.
Yeah, 985.
Okay, I didn't even get the number right.
No one else I've seen
Well,
it.
there's a reason I called him Frank Redbridge and not Frank Redbridge
42.
24.
To be fair, I feel like that Frank would like that though, being known as like Frank Redbridge III. I feel
yeah.
like he's got like
Yeah.
some like.
But that's when we
honorary title.
introduced the monarchy in
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
the
yeah,
Waffler
yeah.
3.
No, definitely.
Yeah, here's his dad's name, Frank, as well.
I got very.
I've never thought about his dad. I'll be honest.
No, I don't think we should
How
acknowledge
deep did
the
you
parents.
go? How deep did you go into the
With
backstory?
a family tree? No.
you
I think he's just Frank at the moment,
Yeah, he's just
isn't
Frank.
it?
Yeah.
He's just Frank.
Frank.
I don't think you should have any family because at that point, like if he has like I don't know a dad that's kind of like you need to get out there and do stuff. It's kind of like it takes Frank's agency off him and
What
it puts
if-
it on his parents.
What if he
And
had?
starts
What
to
if he
blame
had
his parents for his problems?
What if he had a dad, but his like mum died and his dad like ran away?
Are you trying to do like every other student film? Because that's what would happen with everyone else's.
Because I don't think that should be. I think that's
true, actually.
Everyone else, that's what everyone else would do. That's the
Dead
whole
parents.
point I liked working with Eddie, because he didn't turn
Yeah,
around
yeah.
and go, "Oh, by the way, the film that I've made or that I like is about someone who's got a dead parent or like
By the
is
way,
suicidal."
in the Waffler 3, Frank Redbridge is gay. So I hope you guys know that.
I'm not playing him, you know, I'm joking.
I think no. I think Frank needs he needs to be like a blank slate for
Yeah.
any kind of because if we start bringing in the parents,
Maybe
we're
he's
kinda
just the first.
Oh yeah, the reason
Like-
he is the way that he is, and if he does have dead parents, that's going to be a story he made
Let's
up.
be real though. Frank Redbridge is
true.
what Frank Redbridge sounds like a stage name anyway, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It doesn't. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't feel.
So maybe he
real.
does have a real name.
Yeah, maybe he does have a real name, but like,
Guess we'll never know.
it's very much something that, like, you know, it's very much something that he would do. Like, he thinks he's like this really cool musician and stuff like that. Like, and then he will create like this own stage name for himself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Freddie Mercury, Elton John,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Frank Redbridge, like,
Ringo Starr.
Oh yeah, really.
Sorry, I have to get the Beatles in there.
yeah.
Furs.
But yeah, that,
Which is called just Frank Richards.
Frank
That'd be
Richards,
awful.
Frank Starkey.
Yeah.
But like, how did the character of like Frank originate? Like, was it
Well,
was it your idea originally?
I think I was when I was on the bus. I was kind of
Yeah.
like, if someone wants to, because what they do in biopics a lot of the time is they end up changing a lot of parts of people's stories because they're not dramatically correct for something. And an example I use is in Bohemian Rhapsody when they show that Freddie Mercury got diagnosed with AIDS. And then Live Aid happened, even though those things happened completely the other way around, and the AIDS diagnosis didn't happen until years afterwards.
I hate that, to be honest.
It's just because they
it
want,
works in your case.
they want to make it like that. So I was just like, what are they possibly going to change about people's lives next? Are they going to make? Are they going to make a And if they do a Beatles biopic, are they going to change?
They are doing a Beatles biopic.
Are they going to change?
They're doing four.
Four
that are
for each
Four for
member.
each Beatle that are all releasing on the same day.
Really?
Oh, that's so sad.
And they have
I'm
the
sorry.
worst actors. Sorry, I'll write about this on a different episode.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Jesus.
in that
They just got
aspect,
poster boys, didn't they?
when you watch
Sorry.
that movie and you
It's pretty
see
bad.
something that you know didn't actually happen or happened a different way, you're going to be pissed off about
Yeah.
that. So
I'm not going to be... No, I will.
it's just taking that concept and then bringing it to its like natural extreme with Frank Redbridge. I
Yeah.
want a biopic about me made, but my life is too boring. Here's just a bunch of shit that never even happened, but it did
Yeah.
happen. I swear it happened. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I think
cool.
originally there's a fun trivia fact.
Oh,
The red light turned on.
it's dead.
It's finally dead. That means Frank Redbridge is over.
Keep talking.
The original name was the Vaping Cardinals because that was the name of Frank's band. But in the end, I just kind of thought like it was me coming up with a name based off something that I saw very recently, and I was kind of like, well, if Frank Redbridge is going to come up with a name, it's going to be something kind of generic about a movie that I've seen or something. But I thought in the end, it really didn't have any significance on the story. And in the end, you didn't really have a band. It was just kind of
yeah. No, he was more of a solo artist. Wasn't he?
I just kind of said, yeah, it's just called the Waffler because he waffles. That's the deal.
No, what's it? I remember coming up to you though and asking your idea. It was really refreshing. So when when we kind of that was kind of like probably the first time I chatted to you, stuff like that. It was through Ed's course, wasn't it?
Yeah, the storytelling on screen.
The storytelling
thing,
on the screen. And like, I remember going around asking everyone else's like what their ideas and stuff. And like, I don't know what it is about like student-led films, right? And even I've kind of gone into that trap as well. We make them so depressing.
Yeah.
Like, so
no
depressing.
No one wants to have fun with
No one
student
wants to
films.
have fun.
No one
No.
wants to make comedies.
Exactly.
Which it completely destroys me because that's all I want to make.
Exactly.
Like-
yeah. It's really weird. Like even my film that I did, like, you know, it was like, you know, it was sad. Like
you
that
feel,
was the main
you
thing
feel
about it.
you're not going to get taken seriously in the project if you don't do something serious.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
that's not the case, really.
No, definitely. And it was like a lot of the ideas that you're reading and stuff, they're just like, they're the most depressing and the most like the saddest ideas
Mum
ever.
gets diagnosed
Yeah.
with cancer.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can help her is a train driver who, like, it's just something stupid.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I think sometimes as well, some people, because they want to write these like really clever and new and different ideas, that they overestimate like how good of a writer or how good of a filmmaker they are to make that type of thing. And I think that's why a lot of the films, like especially for the PLPs, we were watching it and we were going, "What? What's going on?" Because like, and I don't want to be rude here, but like we're not good enough yet,
And
we're not.
if you do know what's going on, it's because they've said it.
Exactly.
It's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I am so sad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
great.
But this is where Eddie was completely different. Going up to you and you coming to me and being like, "Oh, I want to make this comedy film about like this this arrogant singer." Like I just knew straight away that it was going to be fun. It was going to be different, and it's not like, you know. And we kept saying it for us filming the first Waffler. We were being like,
I think like Rosie was talking to us about an idea that someone had on her group, and it was
Yeah.
like a guy calls up a suicide hotline, and at the end of the film he's talking to the guy on the other side, and then at the end he kills himself. And I'm just kind of like,
Wow.
if there's an example, if that's like the quintessential student film, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's just like,
How many times has that been done?
what is like when you say,
Like,
okay, make a
yeah,
drama, it's kind of like, what is dramatic, you know, and stuff like that. But
I really hope he called it Hotline Bling.
That is crazy. See, but that would be so much
That
funnier.
would be so much funnier, wouldn't
Do
it?
that, but make it a comedy.
Exactly.
Like-
Like make
Yeah.
it funny.
Dark comedy,
Like,
that's it.
Exactly, you know. But
We're here to be at uni to have fun, right?
definitely,
on a-
yeah, yeah.
And not to make serious, dramatic, depressing
I
films.
think
Sorry.
there's a few different like reasons why that could be the case, and people make like kind of sad films. I think from like what I think is that it's just on a surface level, sadness is the easiest emotion
Yeah.
to actually show.
Everyone
Yeah,
can relate
yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely.
anger, you know,
There's not a single person in the world who
depression.
hasn't been sad.
Yeah.
I think sometimes as well that me and my mate were talking about this the other day. So this kind of relates to the short film that we want to do, like around about September time, where like, look, the main theme of the film, or like, you know, what it's about, it can be under something else. So for us,
Yeah.
on the base level, right, we're gonna make a alien comedy film, right? But under that, right, there's gonna be a more like darker theme to it,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't have to be the main thing you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's multi-layered.
Exactly.
That's what you want.
If you realise that, if someone watches it and realises, oh no, there's something more
Yeah.
to this, like it's a deeper meaning, then they understand that, right? But that's
Yeah.
not the main goal. Like the main goal is that you can stick this on and you can laugh at this alien, like you know, this
Yeah.
alien film.
Yeah.
That's the main like idea for it, right? But if you understand those darker themes, you understand those darker themes. You know?
When you start doing stuff like that, that's when you get like fans as well.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah, yeah.
people are interested because it's not just one thing
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
look at. It's like, oh, this is actually really clever how it's
Yeah, subtext, reading
Yeah,
in between
exactly.
the lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
No,
I-
definitely.
I think like when we were filming in my house,
Yeah.
it was like when we were doing the sad montage bit, some of that stuff is like the funniest thing to me. I don't know if anyone thought it was like the funniest part of the film. I think the bit where you fired on the guy's face, they might have thought was the funniest bit. But I find it so funny because it's kind of like it's almost making fun of that kind of student kind of film where you would have a bit where they're like kind of sad, and when you turn to the camera you say, I'm really 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 sad in the outtake. I'm like, that's how they would say it, like, exactly, I'm really sad right now.
Are you sad? Oh, I'm sad.
My girlfriend broke up with
I can't believe I'm so sad.
That, like, there's an idea that we're kind of living in a tortured artist kind of phase where you're kind of like, well, you know, I want to do the best I possibly can, but all these things that are getting in the way, it's kind of like, it's kind of tearing me up, kind of like, I just want to, I want to tell people about that. I want to show my sadness through my art.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I'm a complete like culprit of that. Like for the last couple years or year maybe, I've just not been making things because I feel like it's not going to be as good as what I've done, or like not going to be my vision or what I want. But it's like, how am I going to know that if I don't actually try and make things?
That was one of my main flaws as well.
Yeah.
Like, so I've always been wanting to, like, you know, make films since I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
But the amount of times I'd put it off, not actually go out and like, you know, go for a camera and like make something, it's because I was like, oh, it's not going to be good enough yet. But like, you know, that's the whole point. Like, make it when you're 13, 14, make it shit. Then when you are 20, you know how to not.
You're only going to get better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can be
and
told,
you have the rest of your life to do, like, get
and
better.
it's like, you look back on it and you're like, well, if I did make them shit films when I was 13, 14, you know, would I be a better filmmaker now? Would I be somewhere different? Yeah. Would I actually be?
I know for a fact if I hadn't have made any of the things that I like did myself in my own time, I would literally be so lost right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like,
I'm very curious actually of the people on our course who'd never made a film before.
Yeah, what made them?
Yeah,
what made them choose?
Because I think
that? Maybe we should try and find some people.
Yeah, a lot, like,
get them on.
Because that's when you kind of discover that you kind of like making films. Like, I'm sure there are a few people that watch Tarantino or stuff like that, and they're kind of like, I want to make something like that, and they haven't made anything before, and they're kind of just being told, like, you can be told about aperture and shutter speed and, you know, subtext. So people can tell you about that, but if you haven't actually attempted to try it yourself, you're not going to be, you know.
Yeah.
The best practice is to actually make something.
The thing is as well though, right? Okay. And this is what gets me, stuff like that. See, I've always been wanting to be more of a writer more than anything else, right? So even when I was there, like, and this could be a bit of a controversial take here, but when I was in cinematography and learning about aperture and stuff like that, it's cool and all, but deep down, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Yeah. I don't care about aperture. I don't care about shutter speed. Yeah. I like looking at cool shots. I like looking at, you know
your interests.
But I know my interests, right? I'm more of a storyteller. I want to, and then this was going back to like earlier about, you know, having a layered story, stuff like that. You know, that's what I care about. Though that's what I'm going to listen to, and that's what I'm going to like hear, and that's what I'm going to remember. You know, it's the same with editing as well, right? I'm shit at editing, right? But it's because I don't care about it. I've never cared about editing, so I don't think I ever will. I ain't got a fucking patience for it as well.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I think at times, but the things, they're all key parts of films.
Yeah. That's the thing you got to understand.
Exactly.
If you understand that and like, oh yeah, I get why we're learning this. I get why we're being taught this. Because I do sort of need to know it to make my writing better.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's like, okay, once you know that and understand it, it's like you don't need to go any further.
Exactly.
So I think that's what's great about going into second year. You get to specialise in the things you really want to do.
I've never been caught in a situation where I'm directing something that I haven't also written.
Yeah,
because I've only directed
you're only the stuff that you've written.
Because when it works like in the industry is that if you write something, your script will then be purchased by the studio. And then
that's wild to me.
They'll bring on to a director.
It's like selling your baby.
Who will basically come up with their own vision based off what you said. But now what we're doing is kind of like when you write something, there's kind of like an unspoken rule that you kind of own that kind of thing, and you get some of the input of how it's going to be portrayed on screen and stuff.
Well, it's like as well though, the amount of times now, like directors, right, and I know like big time directors turn around and be like, direct your own stuff. Like if you write something, direct it.
Yeah.
You know, And people really are taking that to heart. I know I took that to heart. When I saw that Spike Lee was saying it, Quentin Tarantino, like all these directors being like, oh, if you write it, you direct it, you own your own stuff, you know. And people do. They're like, oh, like especially younger people, like, oh shit, like I have to keep this now, right? But most people don't know is that Quentin Tarantino wrote True Romance and sold it off.
Yeah.
Because he fell out of love with the project and didn't feel like he didn't want to direct it.
It's really dependent on the situation.
Exactly.
And you have to think that through for yourself. You can't just let someone tell you what's right or wrong.
Exactly.
Really.
But it's just like as well, like sometimes you need to be smart enough, I guess is probably the best way to put it, and be like, look, this is a really cool idea. I wrote this really, really well, right? But have I got the experience, the knowledge, you know, the actual attention to detail to direct this myself? Because 9 times out of 10, especially with a young filmmaker, you don't. And I get it, right? It's trial and error again. But like, you know, at the same time, you know, if it's better to get rid of that script and let someone else kind of take hold of it and, you know...
I'm biting the bullet, basically.
Biting the bullet, yeah. But like, people know you're a good scriptwriter now. People know you're a good screenwriter, right?
People want to work with you again.
Exactly,
So you will like start building up a team and... stuff.
And then one day, because you'll be on set and like, you know, you'll learn things and people know that you're eager to direct, they will help you.
They teach you.
Exactly. Yeah. And then one day you make your own film and you're like, okay, yeah. Like I was able to direct my own thing in the end, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I do like this because when we go into sort of, if we continue with making films and stuff and we do more high budget or, you know, more like industry standard stuff, we're going to lose a little bit of this collaborative sense of, because when money's being exchanged and stuff and you're purchasing scripts off people, you kind of like, basically, it's kind of like hush money, saying, okay, we'll buy your script and then you just, that's your thing. This is our film now, basically.
Bit less personal, almost.
It's a little bit less personal, and at that point, you really don't have you don't have anything to say about, you know, what their intentions were when they wrote this specific line or that specific line. It's all up to the director at that point. To have that subtlety there. So, you know, when we go into making more like bigger stuff, that's kind of what we're going to do. And when money is not like, we're not dealing with like money in that way. Some things can be kind of like, you know, there can be problems that arise because of that, because you're not, you know, working on a...
there's problems that can arise
there's problems, if you don't have, for example, if you don't have, you know, travel money or, you know, food money and stuff.
Yeah, you know,
someone
knows, might turn around and you know
complain about it.
Someone, even if it wasn't agreed upon beforehand, they might just still complain. You never know,
because it's we can do our best to make something professional, but at the end of the day, nothing we're making is actually professional.
No, because it's all a student-led film.
Because we're not getting paid for any of this.
We're all broke-ass students at the end of the day.
Yeah, the money that we're putting in, we're expecting to get experience back.
Yeah.
So. For them being the main lead in now 2 Waffler films, I have made £0. £0 quid.
But respect from your peers.
I've got quite a lot, to be fair. To be fair.
Because obviously Vinny's asked you to work on projects of his own.
Definitely.
Because he's I heard him saying, you know, we need to bring, you know, Brad onto stuff because he's really funny. Like, you know, the dialogue that I wrote for you to say in the film, you said it's so funny that now people want to work with you and write things for you to say and stuff because they know that you've got that talent that you can do that. Whether that brings you to more of your, you know, your goals of writing and stuff, you're kind of like, well, I guess it's kind of like.
Fair, I've kind of liked. I've enjoyed being an actor. I have. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's a bit different to being behind the camera. I think it's a lot for me. It's been a lot more relaxed. Like a lot more relaxed. Like working on the Waffler and the Waffler 2. Like I felt like at times I was a bit like, especially not being involved with the writing process as much. Like, you know, sometimes I was a bit upset, like, oh, I'm a bit out the blue here. Like, I don't know what's like going on. But at the same time, I was just like, you know, let them get on with it. Let them get on with it, see what they can do. And then, you know, I just adapt them to whatever they've written. But yeah, no, I have enjoyed, like, you know, because all it really is, like, you know the character yourself. You've got an understanding of that person, right? You deliver it how you kind of, see fit.
Yeah.
And then you just listen to the director, and then whatever the director says, you just change about,
Yeah.
I felt a lot more chilled out. And I wouldn't mind, that's why I turned around to Vinny. I was like, hey, yeah, send me the script, let's see, I wouldn't mind like being an actor in other projects and stuff like that.
There's when you're some people say it's good to like pick a specific point of filmmaking and really try and perfect that.
Yeah.
But if you're expanding even to acting and stuff, if you're expanding your horizon in that way, you're able to sort of empathize with that.
You can articulate what you want to those people more
because
as well.
It's like, okay, so let's say you're writing something and then you give your actor 7 paragraphs of monologue to say, and you realize that it was difficult for you to memorize, 2 paragraphs of things.
Yeah.
You're going to think about that when you go into
a better
write
understanding
something and the stuff, because you're like, if we end up, making this film, it's going to be really difficult for them to memorize all this. So maybe I should condense the dialogue into just the most important pieces of information.
No, definitely.
And in a way that makes the script concise, it makes it flow better, it makes the film shorter, and in ways it works with pacing and stuff. You get a better film sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, when it's just like a dialogue scene where like it's shorter lines and you don't have to go on with this massive monologue at times, like, you're not shooting for as long because it's easy. How I remember lines, right? I do kind of feed off the other person quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know their last word. I know where they finish. So I know where to start mine. It's a bit like with songs. So like when I remember lyrics, it's because of the beats, in the song. If you was to play a song and I knew the lyrics to it whilst the beat was on, but now you get rid of the beat, I'll be a bit like, I don't know. But because you've got the beat there, it's like, I can hit that every single time. And I can remember
the other actors are laying down your beat.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a bit more of it's a bit of like a tennis match, You're kind of going back and forth over the net. Well, so if you're just giving like an actor a massive monologue and being like, say it now once.
Yeah.
Obviously that's
that's
completely ridiculous to ask.
I can read that like 1,000 times, right, before the shoot. When the camera turns on, everything changes as well. Like 9 times out of 10, the words just go out your head.
Yeah. Nerves straight away.
And it's like, that's now, if you had like a bit more of a dialogue where it was like, back and forth, like, that could take us 1 shot, 2 shots. Now it's going to take us 8. Because I'm forgetting the line each time.
Yeah.
I can improvise a little bit, but I don't know what I'm saying as much. So yeah, I kind of again agree with you. But I think as well for actors, it's good for them to be behind the camera at times. Because actors being actors.
See both worlds. If you see both worlds, then you can.
I feel like it is very important just to understand every kind of role.
Definitely.
Because if you don't, then you're just a bit blind to it. You don't.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they?
You can take it for granted at some point.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's sometimes where some actors are kind of, that's where they get quite egotistical, things like that, because they're like, look, I'm the main guy, I'm the main lead, I'm getting all this money.
In reality, none of it would be happening without everyone else.
Exactly.
And when you see yourself on screen,
Yeah.
and if you're that kind of Frank Redbridge kind of person, if Frank Redbridge would have watched this, he'd be so happy.
Yeah.
Because it would feed his ego.
It's all about me.
And when you have that, you can, and it feeds your ego. It's kind of like a cycle. It's like, oh my god, I am the best. I'm the man. I'm the man.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And then people can end up, being very entitled and stuff because they, that's the acting kind of like the tragic actors, cycle and stuff.
No,
and
definitely.
when editors don't really get that because who's noticing editing?
That is true.
Me, I am. Shout out to all the editors.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of the editing choices you made?
On the night of the last day of filming, we had a quick celebratory snake bite, which wasn't a good idea in the end.
Of course.
Well, let me specify. You had a quick celebratory snake bite.
Yeah.
I was driving. I had zero drink.
And I was just thinking about because I knew about if anyone doesn't know, the song "The Air That I Breathe" by the Hollies was then kind of ripped off, sampled, inspired, plagiarized, whatever word you want to use,
I'd say inspired.
by Radiohead when for "Creep."
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to use both of those songs because
I noticed that
because "The Air That I Breathe" is a very kind of light-hearted, happy, love song.
I love the Hollies.
And "Creep" is a more
Graham Nash.
despite it being the same kind of chord progression and melody. It's a much sadder song. So I wanted to use both songs for when Amanda.
It's a good consistent contrast. Does that make sense?
Because we have two montages in the film with you and Amanda, and then you at being very sad, and then we've got the two songs to sort of contrast between that, And
I noticed that,
and that's something I decided on when I had the snake bite. So sometimes alcohol can be a good,
get the creative
That's it,
juices
kids. Make sure you drink. That's it. If you want your creative juices going, drink.
Have a snake bite.
Have alcohol. Straight vodka.
So that if you want to be an
That's all I'm
editor,
saying.
if you want to grow up and be an editor like me and Eddie here, you got to drink loads of alcohol.
Yeah.
And you can do that for acting as well. You can do that for
yeah, yeah.
acting and
Brandon,
writing.
You don't like editing because you've never had a drink.
Oh my god,
You've never had a drink with it.
I've never had a drink in my life. I'm going to get home tonight and I'm going to start editing, aren't I?
After that's done, get on Premiere.
Oh my god,
Boy, this is fucking amazing.
now you get it.
I'm going to edit. Is this what alcohol does? You get on a massive editing high.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna edit
dragging
like
those clips in
You're gonna edit like an hour-long
Never
film
felt
after
like
this.
before.
I am.
Yeah, you're gonna go home and make the Waffler 2 extended edition,
And then
Frank Redbridge cut.
then the whole. I think we should do like the extended edition, but it's like all the outtakes.
I think you should do a
like all the old
director's
guy just showing
commentary.
up.
I think you should do a director's commentary.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
add an audio track.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really funny. Do it with you, Shannon.
I think this kind of serves as a director's commentary. I feel like I'll be repeating myself a little bit.
Yeah, but I guess with the director's commentary, like because
But you're saying it as it happens.
You're
Yes.
saying it as it happens. It's a bit different. Like
I'd say it's different.
Yeah, this is a bit more sporadic. When you're doing it.
Yeah.
When
We're kind
the
of
film's
thinking
on,
of
it's
it.
I think we
as
should,
were filming it and not actually how.
Yeah.
What do you think about making a remastered version where I go back, I help you fix the sound, which don't get me wrong.
The sound is perfect.
Don't get me wrong, the sound is really good as it is, but me being the sound nerd I am, I know I can make it better.
I offhanded the sound to my dad, who's a musician, but
Who's apparently exactly like me, is what you were saying.
exactly like
This is a
you.
question. Why didn't you get Callum on the project then?
Yeah.
If you knew he was a good sound guy.
Shaking my head, bro.
And I'm not. And I don't want to disrespect Adam because Adam was great on the film.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean just in the edit.
Oh, fair. Oh, in the end.
Adam did a great job. I
Sound
think.
designer.
Oh,
sound designer.
Yeah. Why didn't you get Callum on sound design?
You were somewhere. You were in Spain.
I was on holiday. Yeah.
Oh, he was on holiday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I would love to go through, make a little bit of a remaster.
And we were calling it.
You can. I'm bleeping that out. The fuck edition. But if there's any other changes you want to make, like now's the time. And then we can do. I feel like we should try and make a DVD.
Okay, there's one
Copy.
thing that I wanted to.
DVD. Yeah, 100%.
There's one
DVD
thing I
copy
wanted to
with
do.
director's commentary.
Yeah,
remastered.
why not?
I always wanted to do
Give it
this.
out at uni.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Kind of sick.
You know when you're walking past the pub.
Like pirate films.
You know when you're walking past the pub in the film, Brad.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a sign saying the flying horse as a reference to the original film.
Yeah.
But I tried to do it in After Effects, and it's such a fucking piss take that eventually I just called it off and just said fuck it.
First.
Maybe we can have a go at it again.
We could try and have a
If
go.
you said something at the start, we could have I guess done a little. It would have been quite tacky.
I thought of it as I was editing it. Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things when doing the post-production stuff, it's like it doesn't make for a very fun conversation. It's like I sat at my computer and dragged in the clips and then I
But like you
music.
did some color correction and grading and stuff. Like what was your process behind that?
Oh, it's just obviously with the Waffler we have we don't try and hide our inspiration very much. There's a scene where you're looking through a stack of DVDs and that basically shows, where we got all our ideas from.
Yeah.
So we try and kind of not parody, but very heavily being influenced by a lot of these other films. So when you're doing the action scene, for example, I tried to make it look very gritty, like a Die Hard or something
Definitely.
like that.
I've actually got something for you. So obviously you told me that the aspect ratio, you changed that after and you put black bars.
Yeah.
So do you wish you had the foresight to say, let's record this with these black bars so we know what we're doing, or at the very least have a guide so you can frame stuff better?
Yeah, this is a rhetorical question, Callum. Of course, I wish I had the foresight to do this.
Yeah, of course. But no, it's important to mention that because I think people, especially in student films, they're like, oh, I want to make it look old, 4:3.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what an aspect ratio is, 16:9.
Yeah.
So it's like, at least you were like, oh, obviously I want to make it a little bit cinematic, but it's still that kind of like...
We had no conversations about that. I think once we get to a certain point, those are going to be the topics of conversation.
That's one of my first things I bring up, I can't lie.
The aspect ratio.
Yeah. If I'm an editor on a project, I'm like, or if I'm on camera, I'm like, what's the aspect ratio?
I think it's
But I think though, because you are the editor, unless let's say Cant, if you edit this for us, that might have been a thing that would have got cropped up because you would have said it straight away.
Yeah.
Whilst
I would have definitely done.
If I can't discuss with myself about
about this aspect ratio, and it's sort of like none of us mentioned it.
Yeah.
None of us. Even like Shannon, being a cinematographer, she didn't even
really. I would say that is who should.
I think it's because we
say it to the editor.
We did a sequel as well, and we're not going to change the aspect ratio. I guess.
Well, what was it? Was it the same as this?
I think it was
16:9.
I think I did put black bars on it,
okay.
but I'm not sure if they're exactly the same. I just used the crop tool in Premiere, so it's a little bit shoddy. But
it's all right. No, it works. I think it gives the effect you probably wanted, which is just like, cinematic, but still a bit like TV like, where you can feel like it's a bit of a comedy type thing, where it's like, okay.
I will say though, the difference is night and day between the first Waffler and the second Waffler.
100%.
You can tell with the second Waffler, we've had 2 months of planning and working, and that we've
the script is so much longer, and there's so much more references detail. To things come back, like the twirl comes back, the sherbet comes back, things like that. Vinny even comes back, like we introduced him before. And
you see the first one, it was just so much. I think it's so shoddy, really, really shoddy.
I watch it, and I think it's a good thing that I hate it, because it kind of just says
how long did you have for that? It could have been more than a week or two.
Not a lot. We did not have
probably
a lot
5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, I wrote it in the span of maybe 3 or 4 days. And then,
see, that's impressive for what
over
for that.
2.
That was the problem. So obviously, because it came through Ed's course, and Ed's course was such a shit show, that I think everyone's film in the end, not that I only watched the Waffler brothers and the first one before everyone fucked off to the pub.
Yeah.
I did that.
I stayed there.
But from those 3 films, the one common theme about all of them was that they were really shoddy. They were just they didn't look great at all, and you could tell that everyone was rushing.
Yeah, I think a good percentage of that is because we didn't have enough time.
Exactly, it's what
it
I mean.
It was even worse when Ed brought out his Glock and pointing at it and said, "Say something about this film."
My man, Ed Windus.
Oh, by the way, most of the people in this room don't want to get up on the stage. So what we're going to do is get everyone up on stage, force them up.
Can I just point out, this is the guy who's always talking about, so many people in our course are neurodivergent, and I know they have.
He's like Elon Musk. He's got Asperger's.
John Lennon,
get on stage. Come on.
John Lennon, come up here, say a few words, and he's like, oh yes, 90% of the people in our course are neurodivergent. Come on, guys, you're not socially awkward. Get up on stage and talk to everyone. It's like, what the fuck?
This is again though. This.
Sorry, Ed. If you're watching this, I know you are.
Big up,
man.
This is what I find really jarring as well, though. Right? Okay. Look, let's be real. Just because we're not all diagnosed doesn't mean that we've not all got autism in us. We clearly, most people clearly do. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think it's as big as a deal as how he made it out every single lesson.
Well, it's so weird because he makes it such a big deal, and then he like I said, he puts us all on stage and tries to make us speak in a massive crowd, which I feel like for a lot of people, that is like
You guys got
terrifying.
it easy, by the way.
Yeah, I left before I could
I
get
had
on
to
stage.
speak on that stage. I didn't anticipate how much my leg would start shaking.
Stop. No, right? I didn't get it easy that day, right?
Oh yeah,
You had to go.
I
as well.
went up on stage where there was still 100 people in that room.
Yeah.
How many people?
You
were
spoke in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where I saw.
Chat shit,
You,
get banged.
you spoke, and they didn't even show Brothers
Because
or the
we
Waffler.
were watching Brothers yesterday,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, have you seen this?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I have," because I must have saw it then.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
yeah,
No,
I remember that now.
I grew up on stage. The thing is, though, is that this where I'm. I don't want to sound like a prick here. I was like, I don't get nervous about speaking in front of crowds. I can get up on stage and I can start, but I get it, right? It's not for everyone. Like everyone has a fear, or everyone has like a thing that they don't
public
desperately
speaking
like
is
doing.
scary to me.
Exactly. Public speak. I know, Eddie, it seems like you're not the best with public
no.
speaking as well. I get that, right? But like for me, never had a problem with it. Put me on a roller coaster though, on the other hand, or put me up really high, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
I'm shitting myself.
Yeah.
That's when I start shaking my legs. So like everyone has their little thing that they're
Yeah,
afraid of.
everyone's scared of something. yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but
And
again-
heights and public speaking are like the most common like fears that you can have.
But like,
Well, in our day and age,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But like Ed should have had the like you said, the perception
Yeah.
to know that. And this is where
Exactly.
like his course as well really annoys everyone. Where like we had to do a video essay. No, we didn't have to do a video essay, sorry. Where we had to again do like a PowerPoint and a
Yeah, we had to
speech.
get up and
we had to
speak,
get up and speak in front of people. Okay, it was less people, but at the same time, it's like, you know,
yeah, still nerve wracking.
exactly.
I think I was totally fine with that because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I knew most people.
Who
in the
wants
room
a
anyway. Who wants a
I
Moa?
was going to say most of the people in that room like I
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
them and we were
Yeah.
friends with them.
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
a lot easier.
There was one second year there that was like he just showed up because
Oh.
I think he was redoing his
First year.
Yeah, first year. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was calm. Yeah,
For fun.
Yeah, it was quite cool. Yeah.
there wasn't any pressure except from
That one guy.
that one lecturer.
Oh,
who said, she said there was some attempted showmanship with your presentation,
Ooh.
but it didn't pay off. And I was like,
Ooh.
guess she didn't want a Mauam.
you guess you didn't want a Mauam laced with a
Carcinogenics.
yeah.
I felt like I was back in year 11, not even actually year 9.
Yeah.
when she was
Yeah,
telling
I
me
was
off
like,
because I was laughing through Rico's. The thing is, this is the problem though, right? So she had a problem with me, Adam, and like everyone laughing at each presentation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not realizing that if you read the stuff on the presentation, they were trying to make us laugh.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
pissed me off.
Guess what? We, being us, know our target audience, and we know the best way to get people's attention that are our age is to make them laugh.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what you want to be doing.
What was she expecting? Was like, this is my film.
Yeah, this is a very
This is
serious
what I learned from
presentation about how going to the Tate Modern showed me film. It's like, no one wants to hear that shit.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we want to hear someone say, please take a free Mauam. It's like, yeah, it's
and
funny.
use like a fucking stone moving sound effect
yeah.
between
The page
slides. Yeah.
Like,
Virgin Me literally looked at she pointed at me and went, Brad, if you keep on laughing, right, you're leaving and you're not able to do a presentation and you're failing.
Jesus.
And I'm like, but do you not get it? There's a reason. Right, I'm sorry, right? When Rio, because this was the first one everyone really was laughing at, when Rio had his PowerPoint up, right, and there was just a fucking log in the corner, and it said under it, "This is a log." That shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm laughing. I'm fucking laughing at that, right? Don't tell me I can't laugh.
yeah. It's meant to be funny.
Exactly. Right?
Because again, that's the target audience.
Exactly.
Like,
She must have absolutely hated touching a grass.
yeah.
Oh, appalling.
She would have-
appalling film, she probably
Yeah.
thought.
I can't believe
If she
like
watched
she's
it.
treating you like you're in like secondary school.
What I mean.
That's so
I just thought it was
disrespectful. I feel
bullshit.
like.
It's just so bullshit. I'm just like, you know, I was like, you're supposed to be the lecturer here. You need to be able to understand, again, one, who you're teaching, and two, you need to be reading that PowerPoint. You're clearly not reading that PowerPoint. You're just hearing people laugh and thinking we're taking the piss when we're not. You've not read the PowerPoint. Read the PowerPoint, you'll realise it's funny, and people are trying to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
She looked over our script when we did the first Waffler, and she was like, I don't really get the script because the guy says the year was 1971. But obviously it's not.
Sounds like my mum. Sounds like so like my mum. Like, do you know, after the film, obviously, so my parents, I had quite a lot of my family, after the film. Do you know my mum turned around to me and went, so what was he put in prison for? Was it the human trafficking? And I turned around to her and I'm like, oh, fucking course it was. That was fucking obvious. How the fuck did you not know that?
No, it's because you killed those two guys with one punch.
Genuinely, I just crashed out. I just was like, I can't. I was like, for fuck's sake.
We didn't have the Star Wars text crawl at the start. It was like, Frank Redbridge is now in prison for human trafficking.
But yeah, no, that was another. Yeah, again, that was another thing about the first Waffler. My mum. Was my dad as well? I think it was probably just my mum. My mum just turned around and being like, so how was it in 1971 then? Like, how did that happen? And I was just like, and even when I was telling her about, because obviously at first,
you're like, Mum, what's the name of the film?
Exactly. Yeah. Even so, I was obviously going back to him being like, oh, Rico's going to be in it again. Obviously, Rico's in the first one, and at the time being like, but he's dead though. I'm like, that was clearly bullshit. It wasn't real. It didn't happen, Mum.
And it didn't happen in both ways.
Exactly. It didn't happen anyway. It didn't happen. But
luckily, Pico was there.
Yeah, Pico was there. Yeah,
we never talked about that. How Zeus was also playing another character in the film.
Yeah, that's true.
That was
I think that was probably the biggest issue we had on the Monday. I was like, fuck, is he going to turn up tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because we need someone to play his role, obviously.
Yeah.
Luckily, in the end, was able to get one of my mates to do it.
But different
really
characters.
Good in the end, yeah.
Different character,
but that's kind of cool because you got a story development out of it a little bit. Quite interesting.
Go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say we had to then include the fact that the picture at the during the Chislehurst shoot as well. I mean the Orpington shoot, so we could get that. You can bleep Chislehurst out if you want.
No, we've said all the locations.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's fine. They can know where we filmed.
Because obviously, if we did Rico, then we wouldn't have to explain who Rico was because obviously we got the first film there, but then we have to this last minute. We need some backstory about this character. So yeah,
worked out.
That was it worked out in the end, but that was the biggest hurdle.
To be fair, all of the things that you probably worried about, they ended up working out.
Yeah.
They were probably for the best. Mr. Zeus leaving the project is that sucked probably, and we don't actually know if it would have been better or worse with him, but we can see the final product is good, so we know it worked out in the end.
I don't want to speak out of turn here, right? But Zeus isn't a great actor.
Don't worry, he hasn't watched this far into it.
I hope not. Maybe we'll cut this bit out.
84 minutes in. I'm sure he's not watching.
Zeus isn't a great actor. I'm not saying that the guy, Jamie, his name is, who played Pico, is a lot better, right? But I think he's a bit more natural in front of camera and a bit more charismatic, probably is the best way to put it. He was able to kind of and because Jamie, he's a songwriter, he's a singer-songwriter, so he's a bit more creatively in tuned. He was able to kind of bring a bit more substance to the character.
Well, he made it a bit more of a character.
Yeah, exactly. He gave it a bit more of a character.
If you're a songwriter, you're able to kind of and write lyrics, you're able to show meaning between the lines, subtext and stuff. So when he was reading his character, he was kind of oh, this is the kind of and I say, oh, this is a person that you've met, that you were friends with once, but you kind of you're not really friends anymore. He kind of it was kind of like that, yeah.
Whilst Zeus, he was, I don't know. He's just very. It was just, all of it was just very base level. Which, and yeah, it's a student film, so it wasn't like
totally
the
fine.
biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
And that's why. But like, the only reason why he was in like having a role again in the second one is because he played someone in the first one.
Yeah. And it was a much smaller role in the
so you can
first
kinda
one
get
as
away
well.
with it a bit more.
And it was like a much larger, and that might be something to do with the the extra, like the scope can be a little bit overwhelming for some people.
Yeah,
that
no,
sort of
definitely.
thing. And you're kind of like, oh, we've got to direct this whole thing.
If I was
and
involved, I'd definitely be questioning like, are we actually gonna be able to do this?
Yeah.
Like that is probably my first thought on a
We
lot
had
of projects.
a lot of people like we're going to bring on a Kai to play. Convict
Oh
in the end.
no, definitely.
And he basically said, seems very ambitious. Are you sure you're going to be able to do this? Which I'm not sure if he's kind of like, I guess you can kind of say this and say what you think of the script and everything, but like at the end of the day, like.
But that was the best thing though,
ambition.
right? You're gonna get people, you're gonna get critics, you're gonna get people who like doubt that. Oh, are you sure you can do it? It's your student. You're like, this is.
Well, only
student
pushes you
project.
to want to do it more.
Exactly,
which
and
is
I
probably a
think
good thing.
That's what happened. I think at times we were definitely too. For instance, like the convict role.
Yeah.
Right. We hadn't even asked Kai yet, and it was like, oh, Kai's going to play this role, and you basically wrote it around that Kai would play it, which I think like that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. You should have made sure that Kai was happy to play the role.
I think
before writing it basically for him.
It's when we were shooting Touching a Grass, he seemed so enthusiastic to be on that set. But I realised in hindsight that was because he really liked the script and not so much that he liked working with us.
Definitely.
Like, I'm sure he was very one of the best actors that we had ever worked with.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
He wasn't just acting; he was also helping out with other stuff as well around the scenes and stuff. So I was just I was assuming he was going to be like prepared to work something else with us, but like when he read the script, he was kind of like. Also, he didn't have the first context of the first film, and I think that contributed to it as well.
No, definitely.
I think that maybe Zeus could have sold the project a little bit better, but that was.
But then maybe. Well, obviously, like looking back on it now, with obviously him walking away, like was Zeus really that sold about the project? At first?
I mean,
because that
about the storyboard as well. When Shannon wrote the storyboard, and
but we all clicked on it.
Yeah, we all requested access to the storyboard,
except from him.
So if there's anything like, if he says there's a vision there that I was not made aware of, I can't help but say that's on you. That's not any of our problem, really.
He had access to.
He had all opportunity, had an open door, and basically said, nah.
See, I had a bit of sympathy for him because, like, again, when you use the writing process, like I said earlier, like there are times where I felt like completely out of the blue because it got very quiet at points. Like we had a meeting, or like we had discussions about doing it, and we all got excited. And then, like,
you said, "Oh, I'm going to write it," and then silence.
Yeah, basically.
So just basically a little bit of a lack of communication.
Yeah.
You would have wanted to see more like updates.
Yeah. So it was like I don't know if that kind of got. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I've just paused that now.
Zeus
he said.
I'll do that. I'll fix that in post.
In Zeus he said. I don't know if in Zeus's head he was like, oh, fuck, they're just doing this without me at the moment, Like, I think where I was able to be a bit more calm was, one, I was the actor. Two, as well, like, I wasn't the only one who was out the blue. Zeus was as well. So it was like, okay, like, it's not like they're just gatekeeping me and all four of them are doing it. It's like, oh no, like, it's clear that we've got 3 writers on this and these are the 3 people these are the people that Eddie wants to go with. That's calm, I think you mentioned it to me as well, like me wanting to be a writer as well, and me obviously being the actor for Frank. You didn't want us kind of like clashing too much of what we thought,
because there's ways that you interpret the character that I disagree with, and I didn't want to have that butting heads into the writing process. So I think because I wrote the first one, I think it would have been better to get some, and I wrote with Shannon and Adam for Touching a Grass as well. For that sort of dynamic, it's really strange and weird, because you'd think the better, like if you bring on better writers and stuff, it's kind of like, you know, the more writers the better in some cases, but in some cases there would be a vision that we'd all kind of like point to and understand that that's kind of like the way we want to work with it and stuff. But sometimes there can be people that I'm assuming you're more, if you'd rather be more like the head of where a story would go. Definitely, like making most of the decisions and stuff. And I'm the same way, and I don't think it's possible to have both ways. And I'd think we'd end up be making compromises for like, and think like, you know, we want to get up this hill, or we want to get up this building, and we've got a ladder and we're fighting over the ladder. Eventually we'd end up just sawing the ladder in half, and then, you know, we couldn't make it up there. So,
I know what you mean.
But yeah, that's just a bit of writing, you know. Yeah. Better writing stuff.
Well, I think going back to like the whole Zeus situation as well, I think, like I said, like being out of the blue, and like you said, like maybe he did, like when you was writing the thing, he'd already had how he was going to do it already. Yeah. And then when he kind of was reading the script, stuff like that, maybe he turned around.
He had different ideas. Yeah. And he felt like he couldn't communicate them to you without like breaking the project or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I think look, we've kind of already touched on it. It's just a shame how he left. Yeah. It's just a shame.
Yeah. As you said before we started recording, it would have been better to be 100%, you know, honest about the feelings that you have, instead of just
genuinely blank. Anyone who's doing film, and actually whatever you're doing in life, just communicate a little more. Yeah, you know, it really, it's really that simple, and it really just like helps so much with just everything.
Yeah, because if we think that he's, you know, upset because he was left in the dark, then him to basically get down to what he thinks our level is and then leave us in the dark, it's just, you know, two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But I think we've touched on this whole thing.
Yeah, we have. I don't think we made it.
The chapter selection in this video is going to be like Zeus part 2, Zeus part 3. So sorry about that. If you're
what they
watching.
actually don't know is that we're thinking for the Waffler, we're going to do like a multiverse thing, and it's going to be like a cinematic universe. So maybe we've got the Zeus storyline. Do you sometimes feel like as well you have, especially all being like young filmmakers, stuff like that, when other people do have ideas, sometimes you kind of turn around and be a bit like, have a little bit of disdain for it?
It only if it's completely like, because I've seen a lot of short films. Yeah. Like, only if it's not anything special. And it's exactly the same thing. Park benches, dead girlfriends, dead parents, social anxiety, impending death as well. It's a lot of death, actually.
Yeah. It's a lot of sad topics.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. But like, because I sometimes feel like that. I sometimes feel like I have just, if I'm part of a project, I think it's a bit different. But if I hear like, someone's come up with this like really cool idea, I think at first I'm a bit like, you know, someone else has come up with this cool idea. Like what, like, you know, how good is it? But then after you kind of like listen to it and you go, oh yeah, no, that is cool. You know, you have a bit more like, you know, you don't look at it in a negative way as much as you do first time, because I do think I have at times I've kind of turned around and I've been like, I'm really annoyed that he come up with this really cool idea and I fucking didn't, you know. But I think I don't know. That's why I was kind of like asking your opinions on it, just like if you did.
I don't find much like if someone's come up with a good idea, because we are so oversaturated by generic ideas. Yeah, that it's like when we hear a good idea, if we heard an abundance of good ideas and someone came up with a really good idea, maybe I'll have a bit of contempt for that, because I'm like, man, I wish I came up with that myself.
But no one else is coming up with good ideas.
No one else is coming up with ideas. So it's kind of like you're one of the you're a special one here to come up with this idea and stuff. And when I hear the hamster heist, I'm kind of like, thank God it's not called The Return to the Park Bench.
Yeah.
Featuring my dead mother.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, but I do think that sounds quite fun, and I do think that sounds like quite a clever little idea.
Yeah.
Like,
I prefer over ambitious than under ambitious.
definitely, yeah.
yeah.
All the time.
How much longer do you guys want to keep going? Because
I don't mind.
I think-
What
I
is
think-
the time now?
we 103
5.
minutes in.
I think we spoke a decent amount
Yeah.
about like everything. So
Yeah.
I think we might cut it here because we don't want to go on for like too long.
Well, this is the first episode, so I guess it's
Yeah,
a little bit
makes
longer
sense.
than normal.
Are we setting a
guess
standard for 103 minutes? It's going to be like 95 with that
Yeah.
8-minute break there, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. Well, I guess thank you. You're normal.
yeah.
Thank you for joining
thank
us.
you.
No, I've had good fun. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, the Waffler. Go and check it out. Waffler 1 and 2 linked down below
In a playlist.
Definitely.
in a playlist.
Watch them in order.
Watch them in order. Yep. That's Rug Orange for you right there.
Thanks for watching Rug Orange. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. You can go
Ended
now.
ended like a Stampy video.
Bye. Bye-bye. You can go.
I'm surprised you didn't mention anything about the Waffler 3.
Oh, next time.
You know, if it doesn't actually like end up happening in the end, for whatever reason, like maybe we become mortal enemies.
I hope not.